Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. So I feel like this video has been long anticipated. To be honest, I planned on filming this video a couple of months ago, but I just didn't. There's no other answer other than I just didn't. But I thought that for today's video, as you've probably seen by the title, is going to be an update on what has happened over the last 9 months of me being free of contraception. So this video is going to be talking all about periods, it's going to be talking all about contraception, side effects, everything that I've experienced over the last 9 months, so we're going to get pretty in depth. This was something that I decided to do in February. I got my implant removed. I did put a question box on my Instagram story asking whether you guys had any questions about my experiences. I also 9 months ago put a question box up asking you guys who were already contraceptive free what it was like, what you experienced, what I should expect. Obviously everybody's journey is completely different. Just because things happen to me doesn't necessarily mean that it'll happen to somebody else. But yeah, I'm excited to get started and fill you in on what's been happening. So just a little background before we get into the questions. So I started contraception when I was 16. I went onto the pill. I think it was Regavidon, maybe. I can't remember all the names to be perfectly honest, but I went on the pill when I was 16. There was no reason for me going on the pill. Just to put it out there bluntly, there was absolutely no reason other than my friends were going on it. I just thought that that was something that you were supposed to do when you reached a certain age. You just have to get on the pill. So I wasn't experiencing irregular periods. I wasn't having sex. I wasn't at the point where I needed to have it, but I just took it anyway. I went to my doctors and I said I'm thinking about going on contraception. She didn't really ask me why, from what I can remember, and just prescribed it to me. And so I was on that for a few years. I switched over to the implant 7 years ago. I changed purely because I was constantly forgetting to take the pill, and also I wanted my periods to just completely stop. I didn't want to have to think about them month to month. This method did actually work for me for about 18 months, and then I started getting my periods back and they were really, really irregular. They were all over the place. So I came off the implant and then went back onto the pill. When I went on the pill, I don't know what it triggered. I'd never really suffered with acne, particularly, but especially not like hormonal acne, until I started taking the pill again. Took the pill and the acne started, and then I think after about 9-10 months of that, I went back onto the implant because I just thought I can't take how much acne this is giving me. So I went back onto the implant and my periods again were all over the place, but even worse so than before. I was still getting hormonal acne. I'll pop a picture up of what it was looking like. As somebody who never really got hormonal acne as a teenager, as like a young adult, it was really odd for me. So, and then I stayed on that implant up until February of this year, and my reasoning for coming off it is that I just kind of realised that I'm having so many issues with my periods, and I mean that I had like a regular period, say lasting 5 or so days, and then I will be off for like a week, and then I will get another one, and then I'd be off for a couple of days, and then I get another one. Some months I wouldn't get one, and then other months I would be on literally all month. It was horrendous. I couldn't quite work out what was going on. So I decided to come off that implant in February, just purely because it kind of dawned on me, like, why am I on this? Why am I on this? And I just kind of thought, this caused me too much stress. I'm not currently active with a partner. There was literally no reason, and I kind of thought about the amount of hormones that I've been pumping around my body for the last 13 years, and I kind of thought, surely there's no need for that. So I thought I would come contraceptive free, see what happened, and yeah. Let's get into these questions and I'll let you know what's happened over the last 9 months. Okay, so one of the main, like the overwhelming amount of questions that I got on my Instagram story was about weight loss and weight gain and what it has done in terms of my weight loss journey. Honestly, I think it has been a little bit easier to lose weight, but when I say easier to lose weight, I mean if I had stuck to a proper diet, if I'd been like on a strict diet for the last 9 months, I probably would be a lot smaller than I am now. I feel like not so much that it has helped with weight loss, but it hasn't, me going off track hasn't affected my weight as much as it used to. So in terms of my kind of weight loss journey, I do try eat healthy 4 or 5 times a week, and then usually I end up falling off at the weekend or something like that. However, the weight hasn't really stuck around as much as it used to, so I've kind of noticed that I'm not as bloated. I'm also not, like, I feel like I don't fluctuate as much in terms of weight. So when I try really hard, the weight does come off me, and then when I have like a couple of weeks where I'm not eating as well as I should be, the weight doesn't just pile back on anymore as it used to. Whereas I kind of found that in the past, if I would have like a bad weekend, I would have gained like 4 pounds over the weekend. Now it kind of just doesn't. I kind of just stay as I should, as it were, kind of, because having a week off plan isn't going to, or shouldn't, cause you to gain a hell of a lot of weight, whereas I used to be able to gain like 5-6 pounds in a week, which is absolutely ridiculous. But now, if I'm not eating as healthy as I probably should be, then I just kind of maintain, or maybe gain 1 or 2 pounds. So I guess I think that is related to coming off contraception, that the weight just kind of doesn't stick to me as it used to. In terms of weight loss, obviously my journey is like all over the place. I do go to the gym twice a week. I'm trying to up that to 3 times a week, and then, like I say, I try to eat healthy 3 to 4 times a week, but I am trying to kind of keep that consistency up because I do want to lose a bit of weight. But I've just had so much going on over the last 9 months that I haven't been able to stick to a consistently like clean diet. But I honestly think that if I had, then I would have lost quite a lot of weight. So I'm not saying that coming off contraception will make you lose weight, but I guess what I'm saying is that it doesn't cling on as much as it used to. Okay, the next bunch of questions that came through were generally to do with my mood, my anxiety, how I feel in general. I guess over the last kind of 9 months or so, I have noticed a big change in my mood. I kind of seem to have let go of things. Like, I'm not as bothered by things anymore as I used to be. So I found that when I was on contraception, just the littlest thing would like bother me, whereas now I kind of feel like it doesn't. And in terms of my anxiety, I feel like that has improved massively. But I feel like that is a combination of, first of all, I got therapy, I went to CBT, so that isn't kind of like directly linked to being contraceptive free, and that really did help me. But I kind of feel like I'm not as, I don't know how to put it, like, my mood doesn't fluctuate as much as it used to, in terms of I don't feel anxious anymore. Obviously I do sometimes, but like they are usually triggered by anxiety provoking events happening in my life. But in terms of general anxiety, I do feel a lot calmer than I used to, and I feel like I just don't give a shit about anything anymore. Like, but I do in the best way. Like, I do it. I don't know how to word this properly, but like I feel like the little things that don't really matter, I don't care about. Like, and I'm a lot more focused on myself and my self-happiness, and kind of creating an environment around myself which benefits me mentally, physically, whatever. And then like the little things I just let go of. Whereas I used to cling on to things, and I used to overthink a lot about like, why did this happen, and why, how can I fix it, and I guess now I'm kind of in a space where I think, well, some things just aren't fixable, and some things just happen the way they're supposed to, and we just deal with it and we move on to the next. So it sounds so like out there to say that I've stopped caring. Obviously I do care about the things that need caring about, but the little things that don't really matter, I don't care about anymore, which I think is a huge difference to how I used to feel. Like I say, I used to overthink things. I used to get really like het up about really small things and want to fix them. And I guess I am a lot more calmer now, in terms of like, I always try to look at the good side of things and think, okay, so it didn't work out the way we thought it would. However, it was something that good that we gained from this was this, which was not my way of thinking at all last year. So I kind of think that is related to that, because I feel like my emotions are more regulated. I feel like I'm more me, if you know what I mean. I feel like I'm more kind of, I can explain my actions and I can explain why I do things and why I feel things now, whereas before I would just feel things, do things, and I didn't really know why. I just did them because it was quite like impulsive. And yeah, I feel like I'm a lot calmer. Maybe it's a little bit of a nicer person now. The next topic I'm going to be talking about is periods. So, like I said at the start, my period was so irregular whilst I was on contraception that I don't really know why I put myself through it. In terms of, people sometimes go on contraception to stop their periods, and for a while that was why I thought I was on it. But then when it stopped working in terms of preventing my periods, like I say, I just kind of thought, well, why am I on this? Because it's not doing the primary thing that I wanted it for. So my periods were all over the place, and it can take around a year to get hormones out of your system. So in terms of kind of my journey, obviously I've been off them for 9 months now, so my hormones are still trying to regulate themselves. I still have stuff in my system. Like I say, I was on this, but you can't pump yourself with hormones for 13 years and expect it to just kind of go away as soon as you stop taking it. So it did take a little bit of a while to regulate my periods again. I did download a period tracker which is called Glow, and you just basically put in your periods when you have them, whether you've had spotting. They've got loads and loads of stuff about like how much sleep you have. If you're trying to conceive, then it'll kind of give you tips on like times to do that and when you're most fertile and things like that. Obviously I don't use it for that at the minute. I do just have the free version, so there is quite a lot of like little pop-ups that come up that you just have to close before getting to your calendar. So I use that to track when I'm on my period and check whether I'm staying regular, and I'm pleased to inform you that now I have had a regular period for about 4 months. So it has been on time, at the right time of the month. I've had it for the right amount of time, and then it stopped for the month, and then I get my next one the following month. I guess that kind of helps things hugely in terms of like the inconvenience of having a period. At least I know now when I'm due to have one, so I can, like, I don't know, put a tampon in my bag or something like that and be prepared. Whereas before, I would either get caught short or I would have to take them all the time because I just never knew when I was going to be having a period. So that has really helped with kind of like stress and things, and it's just one less thing that I need to think about because I know when it's due. So really helped in terms of my mood as well. And yeah, I feel a lot happier now that I have a regular period and I know when it's coming. Okay, so the last and final topic that was most commonly asked on my question box was about my skin. So like I said at the start, I used to suffer with like an adult hormonal acne, which I think was triggered by going on the pill or being on different contraceptives. At first, when I first asked about this 9 months ago, people said, oh my god, your skin will be amazing, you'll love it. And after the first month, not much change, and I was like, oh my god, I need to have nice skin, like why is this not working? But then, like I say, the hormones can last a long time in your system, and my skin has never been better. I've got no makeup on apart from mascara, and I filled my brows in, but I'll just show you my skin at the moment. I mean, I've got a little bit of redness there, and then I've got some scarring from the hormonal acne and some false tan, but my skin has never been better. Yes, I've got imperfections like every other person on the planet, but beforehand, I would hate to have filmed this video without any foundation on, without any, you know, concealer or anything like that. But I feel like I've got a different glow about me now. You know, yes, my skin is not absolute perfection. There are imperfections from when I did have acne, but yeah, I feel like my skin has just been so good. Particularly after the first 3 months, that's when I started to notice a change, and obviously that has also been maintained by a regular skincare routine as well. But I used regular skincare whilst I had contraception, and it made absolutely no difference whatsoever. Since coming off, I think for the last, I obviously had my skin routine, and I feel like over the last 6 months in particular, my skin has been amazing. I can't even explain it. Yeah, I just can't even explain it properly. I feel like I say, I feel like I've got a different glow about me, that I'm not bothered about walking out the house with no makeup on. I'm not bothered about filming a video with no makeup on. I just, yeah, and that also adds to the confidence as well. So I'm really pleased about that, because that is one of the things, aside from a regular period, that I really wanted to change. Okay, so those are the most noticeable differences from coming off contraception. I know that they are all good, but let's move on to the bad points. So there's only one thing that I've really noticed over the last 9 months that has been like a negative for me in coming off contraception, and that is I get period cramps now. Whereas before, I know I was getting the period all the time, but I was never cramping. I never got those period cramps, whereas now I do, and they are quite painful. But nothing that a paracetamol can't fix. That is just nature taking its course. That is just something that unfortunately as women get as part of our period cycle. But to be honest, if that is the only negative that I've really noticed so far, and I will take that over everything else that was happening to me before. So in general, this last 9 months has been a really positive thing for me, and there is only one thing that I can even think of that was negative, and it's just part of nature. And like I say, it's nothing that a paracetamol can't fix. One thing I did notice actually when I went to the doctor and said that I wanted my implant removed, they were very dubious. I want to say they were a bit, okay, so what are you replacing it with? And I said, well, nothing. I said, oh, are you trying for a baby? I was, well, no, I just don't want to have hormones in me. It was almost a little bit of a confusion. I feel like as women, we've almost been conditioned that it's just the natural thing that you need to go on, and you need to be on some form of contraception, when realistically we don't. And the amount of side effects that contraceptives have on women is absolutely shocking. But that is kind of everything that's happened to me over the last 9 months. I feel like contraception isn't something that I would want to go back on. There's no need for me to go back onto it, so I'm just going to stay contraceptive free for as long as I can. Yeah, I hope that you found this video informative. Let me know in the comments if you are also contraceptive free, or you feel like you want to be contraceptive free but you're a bit nervous. You can always go and see your doctor about it. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you all have to say. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please give it a thumbs up, go hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Baby, let me love you, let me love you, let me love you, let me love you.